After a story spanning 5 chapters and several months of real-world time, the final episode of Life is Strange is upon us. As with any story or character-driven episodic game, the last chapter is what brings everything together. It has to stand on its own as a lone installment, while also tying up the narrative and making the choices you've made throughout the other episodes feel like they've amounted to something. We have made a point of praising past episodes in the series for their difficult choices, and at times shocking butterfly effect, actions, and consequences theme. That's why it's so disappointing to see the developer Don't Nod really drop the ball with this pivotal final chapter. It's not that the choices you make in this chapter are disappointing, it's that aside from a red pill, blue pill choice you need to make at the very end of the game, there really aren't many. Previous episodes all had choices ranging from the small to the enormous. From watering a plant to choosing the right dialogue options to talk a suicidal classmate down from a school roof. These affected the outcome of the episode, and we were led to believe the outcome of the game itself. There are no such choices to be found here. And it becomes sadly apparent before the chapter's even over that the decisions we've been making throughout the last 4 chapters have no bearing on the ending whatsoever. Gone are the gut punch moments of emotional resonance where you made decisions you didn't even realize you were making, which massively shaped where the story was going. Instead, they've been dropped in favor of psychedelic dream sequences and ham-fisted stealth sections that see Max sneaking past torch-wielding assailants whose patrol path can only be memorized by getting caught by them and then rewinding time to try a different route. It feels like it's there for the sake of it, shoehorned in to make one final puzzle out of her time manipulation abilities. But with this all happening in her head while she pushes up Z's in some sort of time travel-induced coma, it just feels like needless padding, a way to draw the game out beyond its life expectancy. The same can be said of the long-winded walk through Max's memories that takes place shortly after. The game spends so long reminding you of things you did in the previous chapters that it just draws further attention to how little impact these decisions have on the game's finale. Characters whose lives you saved previously don't even appear for the last chapter. You're saved from the predicament you were left in at the end of episode 4 by the same character regardless of how you treated them or how much you did or didn't help ruin their personal and professional life. And in the final decision, which oh so badly wants to shock and tug at your heartstrings, it's rendered ineffective by the fact that almost everyone who's paid even the slightest bit of attention to the game's overarching story figured it out about 3 episodes back. Sure, there are 2 options to choose from, but one is so overwhelmingly selfish that we were stunned to think anyone could possibly consider it over the alternative. Still, that's not to say that the chapter is a complete write-off. The mystery of who's been abducting and drugging girls from Arcadia Bay, and their psychotic reasons behind it, are revealed with gusto, and once you know what's been happening, you'll kick yourself for not figuring it out before. Assuming you already didn't. The odd behavior of characters throughout the series, and even some of the things they've said, makes sense in this new and revealing light, while Max continues to develop as a character, finally pushed to her emotional breaking point. We found out what caused the storm and the other strange occurrences happening throughout the town, although no explanation for how they happened is offered up. Overall, this is a disappointing end to an otherwise superb series, one filled with fantastic plot twists that made you think every decision, every choice made a difference, only to drop the biggest twist of all. They never really did.